Autoline Daily is brought to you by Siemens PLM Software, transforming the process of innovation.
Here are today's top headlines. Bailout money for the big three looks unlikely, steel prices are plummeting, and Honda will build the CNG Civic in Indiana. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Wednesday, November 19, 2008, and now the news. Bailout money for the auto industry doesn't look good, but that shouldn't surprise anyone. This is a lame duck session in Congress where many members who lost in the last election are only back in Washington this week to pack up their belongings and empty out their offices. And most of them are Republicans who are very angry at the UAW for helping them get thrown out of office. I said from the very beginning that getting a bailout in this Congress is extremely unlikely, but I'd say it's almost a slam dunk they will get the money after Barack Obama is sworn in as president. Along with everything else, demand for steel is plummeting and the price is crashing. Over the last 2 years, prices of steel and iron ore more than doubled, but the Wall Street Journal reports that steelmakers are now suspending contracts with their raw material suppliers. Other metal prices, including aluminum, copper, and nickel, are also plummeting, which will provide some relief to automakers and their suppliers. One problem facing the Detroit automakers is they cannot charge as much for their cars than competing brands. In a report from the Wall Street Journal, the typical Ford Focus and Chevy Cobalt sell for $3,000 to $4,000 less than the average Honda Civic. When you add the numbers up, Honda earns $3 billion more per year selling the Civic than Ford makes from the Focus. Autoblog is reporting that more spy photos of the Mercedes-Benz SLC Gullwing supercar have been posted to the web. This batch of pictures finally shows the car's interior, though the image quality is pretty poor. Right now, there's not a whole lot that's for certain about the new car. It'll probably be the performance successor to the SLR McLaren, even though it may not be badged a Mercedes. Instead, it might get an AMG label. Bentley just introduced the AZURET convertible with 20-inch 5-spoke wheels, Le Mans front wing vents, dark tint matrix grille, and a sculpted, retractable Flying Bee mascot. Under the hood, the AZURET is equipped with a twin-turbocharged V8 that produces 500 horsepower. What does it cost? Well, merely an arm and a leg. Honda will build the next natural gas-powered Civic GX at its plant in Indiana beginning next year. The plant began manufacturing the 4-cylinder Civic last month. Honda will only sell about 1,000 GXs this year, so it looks like it plans to increase that number. Coming up next, it's time for You Said It.
Siemens, transforming the process of innovation.
And now it's time for some of your feedback. This is You Said It. Every day we get dozens of comments and questions from you, our viewers. You Said It gives me a chance to respond. First question came in anonymously, and it asked, can you tell me how much subsidy the various states gave to the foreign automakers to build plants in their states? Well, I gotta say, almost all of the 50 states try to lure automakers to build plants in their state. They don't care if they're foreign or domestic. They just want the plants, and they'll give them whatever subsidies it takes to get it. The next question comes in from Alex Kajdi from Rye Brook, New York, and he says, I've been waiting to get my hands around the wheel of a Volt. If the bailout is not successful and the price of gasoline remains low, what happens to the Volt? Well, I gotta tell you, the Volt's gonna get built, I think, no matter what happens. Even if General Motors doesn't get a bailout and has to go into bankruptcy, it's going to survive in some way or another, and the Volt represents the best prospect for GM in the future. And David Sproul asks, I have seen and read about 2010 being the magic year where our troubles will start to wane. How is it that 2010 will be the finish line? All the economists that I've talked to tell me that they believe the world economy will start to pick up by 2010, and that'll bring the car industry along with it. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. We're all going to be in the breadlines. Well, don't forget that all this week you can enter for your chance to win a special edition Autoline 10th Anniversary DVD and an Autoline coffee mug. All you have to do is sign up for our free email newsletter. I'll be picking the winner Friday on Autoline Daily, so sign up today. Well, that's it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, Dawn's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.